let me just go back to the report and show you how a financial statement in Power BI natively would look like. If I just add a matrix or table visual, I will see something like this, right? So I'll add my actual values, my plan, I'll break it down by account and account group. This is what I get. I can expand, and yeah, that's it. I can sort by the accounts, but that's pretty much it, right? So no additional information, just numbers. There has to be a lot of like formatting done to even get anything out of this. So in this case, we will use a Zebra BI table visual. We will again add the same values. So we'll add a value and we'll break it down by account group and account, right? And as you can see, the visual itself will start building visualization on top of it, right? Then if we add a comparison value, which again has a placeholder for it to follow the standards in terms of formatting, like the notation here, and also for the variances, we now get the variance built in. And now it takes only one field, right, to actually, I mean, you can manually invert and actually build the P&L statement, right? And this is Zebra BI specific. So you can build a P&L statement like manually, or you can even drag and drop a category class to actually build the entire thing for all three financial statements, for balance sheets, for cash flows, and for income statements. So we are subtracting the costs, we're building the gross profit, and we now can do all of these things, right? The analysis, right? We have the full results and so on. And on top of that, we can then add commentary, right? So if we have comments linked to our data, we can add the comments and they will be placed at the data points, right? With markers that actually showcase the comments that are manually entered, of course, by your users. Now, this means where I change the dimension, I also change the comments, right? Because this is all dynamic. It's built into the visuals. So if there's no comments in that particular time frame, right, I will not get commentary if there's no comments for that particular account. Again, it's all dynamic. It's built in additional insights that the users can bring that is not featured in your data, right? And this is important because we want to have storytelling, right? We can even add additional lines. So you can right-click on a particular line and just build your custom formula on top of it, right? So I can build gross margin in percentage and divide it by revenue, format it as percent, make it italic, and have it displayed as such, right? It's now built into the visual. The commentary that we added here and additional things, these are Zebra BI specific, and right, you can even like resize the commentary. You can play around with the column structures and how you want to show certain elements. You can switch the views dynamically, and on top of that, you can add additional breakdowns, right? And from only this specific view, like this one, you can go into like a month-to-date, year-to-date, full-year comparison view, right? And all we needed to do from that basic, right, breakdown where we have like a comparison measure and so on, you can drop a dimension for period calculation to split this by different groups. And all of these are correctly scaled between each other, right? Now, the benefit here is that you can actually hide certain elements, right? So for the full year where we don't have yet the data present, we simply can hide the comparison between actuals and forecast, or bring it, of course, back, right? So in this case, we can simply hide the actual to forecast comparisons from full year, and we switch to the forecast to plan comparisons for the remainder of the season. And this is a standard financial like use case, right? We want to see our forecasts for the remainder of the year, but it's simply not native in Power BI to be able to like showcase just that particular amount of data. And it's just the level of detail that you want to see. Data analysts and financial analysts role has also changed, right? And it's not just that you're presenting flat numbers each month, but you want to also add insights, storytelling elements, and like compound annual growth rates that you want to like build on the fly, right? So in this case, we can use something called the annotation layer. This can be used to bring in like compound annual growth lines, right? You just go to this add annotation section, right? And you add those compound annual growth rates for like all the business units simultaneously, right? So you can see and communicate the trends and changes of the trends and how they correspond then maybe between a revenue to gross profit, right? We see, okay, we have an increase in revenue also in this comp business unit, but there's a decrease in gross profits, and how does it correspond to our operating income in the end, and so on, right? So do we see like a steady improvement over time on all of our different, let's say, business units, markets, and so on? So these are additional insights that are at your fingertips with advanced visualizations. Now, in finance, of course, you want to be able to build those waterfalls, right? Like how to actually showcase how you achieved certain results. And again, for this, we can use the Zebra BI charts. You simply drop the values into the placeholder by different accounts, right? And those can be, of course, sorted manually on the cash flow statement, right? And once you actually have them in, right, you can basically invert and assign certain values to achieve the right waterfall in this case. And in this case, you can indicate a result for, let's say, cash of beginning of the period and cash of ending of the period, just as a click, right? So you can even break the y-axis, but there's also one thing that's maybe even better in this case. If we want to showcase charts, or we want to enable better readability on structural breakdowns, right? We're not dealing with time trends. We can use a vertical axis like this, a star schema data model. And what do we mean by this? We mean that all our transactional data, all our values, so to speak, right, and lines are stored in a centralized fact table, right? And out of that, the branches or the leaves of the star, right, are dimensional tables by which we filter that data. Again, these can be business units, accounts, the calendar dimension, different scenarios, but ensuring we have a proper star schema data model, right, split into this centralized fact table and dimension tables is really optimized for Power BI, for performance purposes, and also to be able to properly filter and slice and dice our data. Now, I would like to leave you with a playbook to future-proof your finance reporting, which is basically this, right? So to recap those steps: to establish one source of truth, to automate and set up scalable data model, to visualize and give meaning to your data, right, through the use of RISE visualizations with insights, not just basic numbers, to explore and explain by interacting and collaborating on the reports through the use of storytelling elements. And this basically allows you to make data-driven decisions and build the models and the structures, BI reporting structures, for analysis of advanced tools like AI analytics and so on. Now, modern financial reporting is not just about recording that history, it's about enabling better decisions, faster actions, and broader business impact. Now, with automation, better communication, and strong data governance, financial reports evolve into a true strategic asset. With that, I'd like to invite you to put into practice what you've learned today. And you can start by scanning the QR code, which will take you to a page to apply for a 30-day free trial for Zebra BI custom visuals for Power BI. So you can try it out at your own pace